from. Today we're going to be making a video talking about gaming overall, and if you'll excuse my mic quality, I am looking towards to get a new mic. It's been a little bit more of an annoyance trying to get to this point. But today, our video return of my old channel will be to do with gaming, and what has happened to it? Where have we went? Where have we been? What things have happened since I would have probably released my last video? Back then, we used to play it on a good old Xbox One, where the recording times were limited to what resolution I wished to upload my video in, which was always weird. You never knew. You could never choose the resolution, you could never choose the time. So today, in these times of me being on a PC, I now have the freedom to choose however long I wish to record for, at whatever frames and at whatever resolution I feel like recording at, which is always handy. Today, I am in the background playing a game called Kingdom Come Deliverance. As of the moment, it is the 8th of February 2025, and after an entire year of very boring games, maybe two games to name during the entire year that would have been actually enjoyable, and we have entered 2025 with still the same feeling of having nothing. And I understand that it's just the second month. These things will go away as more games come out when we progress through the year. For instance, you've still got Monster Hunter Wilds to come out this month. People who still like Civilization, that game's still to come out. Games like Killing Floor 3 come out next month. I have recently been playing a little bit more of Killing Floor 2. I played it a little bit when I played on console, but not too much. But my point is, a lot of these games that we play, and I play still to this day, are older games. The only two new games I have played this year so far have been Path of Exile 2, which is an early access release title, which you had to pay extra money to get access to, which I don't mind because I started to play PoE 1 at the end of last year, and KCD 2, which is a sequel, a very good sequel from what I've already put in the hours of, that carries on from the original game. But these games are already games that were pre-established and knew what they were doing. But even in today's gaming world, having a game that is pre-decided and pre-established from its
Aye.
old versions
Whenever I see him, I
and
feel
everything
like
that
giving him a
happened in
smack
the
in the
previous
mouth as
past,
well.
Or five.
it doesn't matter.
Which
For instance,
reminds
if you
me,
take the Battlefield
Look,
series, a series that
I
I've
know
made
I
videos
behaved
on
like an idiot, but
in the past on this channel.
nah, don't worry about it.
These are games
It's water under the
that we
bridge.
grew up on.
I'm in your debt.
Overwatch,
Talking of
Battlefield,
debts,
Call of
there's
Duty,
one more we need to settle.
so many
Both of us.
games
That herb woman,
that
Bojana,
have
really
died,
helped us after that ambush.
and
If it
they
hadn't
have
been for
never
her, we wouldn't
survived
have survived.
Aye,
due to
you're right.
the
I gave
point
her my
of
word, and the word of a
trying to
noble
be new,
must be kept.
and not
As
being
we
trying
both
to be
know.
new, but trying to make
Don't worry
games
about
into
it.
other games,
I
is
took
what's
care of it on
ruined
behalf
many
of
of
both
gaming
of us.
today.
You did? My word, Henry.
We once had the
You are
fad
a true
of
Bellator.
people wanting to
Only half
be
by birth, but your heart is filled with
nothing
blue blood.
but
Thanks, Hans.
How is she getting on, actually? I
Battle
hope she
Royale.
hasn't had any trouble on account of us.
Then we had
Not on account of us, no.
a lot of
But,
games nowadays who wish to be an extraction
right, it's a
shooter like
complicated
Tarkov,
story. And not
and
a
it's
pleasant one.
this
Jesus.
problem of
I'm
unoriginality.
sorry to hear that.
These
But
people
right
that
now,
don't
I'm not in the
understand and
mood for
take the
sad
ideas from
stories.
other games
You can tell me another
and
time,
try
but
to
now
put it into their
the
game
battle
with the
awaits
only
us. It's high time we set out so we
the
can get
only
back
thing they
before
can take
nightfall.
from it is maybe it's an
Carpe diem.
extraction shooter
I'm
in the
ready.
Battlefield
Let's mount
universe.
up then.
Things like this don't make a game good. These things make a game bad. If these games understood the way
It's
that
nice to
people
be out
wanted
under
to
the
play
open
them,
sky.
we
I
would
was
have a lot
feeling
more
really
better games
cramped
nowadays.
in those gloomy corridors.
For instance,
But I
recently
can't
we just
deny
had
this
the
is a
next
real
Battlefield
fucking
show
castle.
off with a small
Never
little
seen
teaser
anything like
trailer.
it before.
It's a
Kirkstein is
Battlefield
just a
set
little
in the
fortress
modern
in
times.
comparison. Von Berghoff
Good
certainly knows
destruction,
how to make an impression.
and
That's true.
a very good
Von Beauregard must be
looking
loaded.
I expect the office of the Royal Chamberlain is a nice
graphics,
area. Or maybe
very good
he
looking
shits gold
guns,
ingots.
sounds okay. All these things look good and promising. But we never fall for it again after 2042. We will
Fuck.
need to wait until we see more
This place makes me feel queasy.
gameplay,
Memento
more
mori.
everything.
I could have croaked here.
Until I
Gone
have
off to
seen
join my old man in
all of those
eternity.
things, I will hold my breath about how this game will be.
And you'd ask me, so
And
son, what great
these people will
deeds have you
never
achieved in
understand that
life? And I'd
these
have to
gaming
tell 'em,
companies, they
well,
release
Pa, I fucked
nowadays,
everything
it
up
seems they
royally,
release
and then they
games
hang
to
me for
fail,
poaching. Christ on
which
a
is dumb.
stick. I can't have
As
that.
we were once a part
When
of
I go to the next life, I need to have something
the
better
thing
to
that
tell.
once made gaming
A whole
popular.
lot better.
Without us, without the people that made games, without the people that kept all these companies
Well, you'll be telling him
amazing,
how you put a stop to the war in the land.
have
saved
completely
King Wenceslas,
gone
and
down
brought peace
the
to the
shitter,
people.
That
as
doesn't
I
sound
would
too
say.
shabby. Only,
And it's a ruining
how to actually achieve
of a
it.
thing that so many people have held dear in their heart since they were younger, since they were children, since they were adults, teenagers,
Damn it.
everything in between.
I need to get my mind on other things and get the feeling I'm living. Let's really spur these
These
horses on, eh? What'd you say?
people
How can
have
I
never
refuse you anything?
There's a
understood
junction beyond Troskovitz with a roadside chapel. Whoever
that
reaches it first
what
wins.
we want
So, get ready, forward!
is the ability to
Race
understand how gaming works in general. We have always known what we want as gamers. We have always known
Faster!
the kind of
Faster!
games we want, the kind of things we want, the things we want to see, and the experiences we expect to experience when playing a game like a single player game or a multiplayer game. We've all experienced and been through the usual drivel every year of a game that's multiplayer, of a game that's normal and has no unique features of it other than
Give it all you've
what
got!
is already there, what is already existing in today's society as gaming. We've all played hero shooters, we've all played fucking multiplayers, we've all played fucking live service games. We've all played these games that none of them change, none of them get any better. And
Christ, yeah!
to the point it is
Oh,
just
I needed
annoying.
that. My
We
head
need
feels a lot
something
clearer
new,
now.
something fresh,
Glad to
and
hear
something
it.
that
Thanks for
restarts the
riding with
gaming
me, old
world.
pal.
Think nothing
Too
of it.
many things nowadays focus upon making a game look beautiful and taking away from the game's originality, the game's feelings. Too many games nowadays focus on using engines like Unreal Engine 5 to fix in the most amount of ray tracing and reconstructed pathways, making everything look so beautiful, but they forget the core concept of the game is the game itself, the gameplay. If you focus too much highly upon the game looking good, no matter what, you make the game look nice, the game's still going to play like shit. No one's going to play it. Many of these people will play them. Every game, every company has their own loyal fan base. For instance, there are still people out there that will happily sit and play Assassin's Creed Shadows. But as a fan of the original series of Assassin's Creed, you can guarantee, and be goddamn guaranteed, that I ain't gonna touch Assassin's Creed Shadows with a 17-inch fucking pole with a bit of shit on the end of it. Because that game looks fucking horrible. It takes away something that we all grew up loving and wishing for. We all wished when we were younger for a game, an Assassin's Creed wise. One of them would be World War II-esque, bringing it a little bit closer to the modern times. But the other one was feudal Japan. And now we won't get that. Because they're trying too damn hard to be an RPG when there is one game out there that came out on the PlayStation 4 that played so much more better like an Assassin's Creed set in feudal Japan that we don't need another one. Assassin's Creed Shadows was already outbeaten by a game known as The Ghost of Tsushima. That game itself came out and proved to everyone that Assassin's Creed isn't Assassin's Creed anymore by purely being its own game. And that's what sets the bar apart. That game looked beautiful. That game also played really nicely. Its combat was fluid. It had cool moments with executions. The blades felt like you were swinging something that actually cut someone. Whereas in Assassin's Creed for the last 5, 6 years has felt like nothing but beating a dead horse with a fucking stick. 90% of enemies you ever come across in that game can't be killed by stealth. So 90% of the time, you're beating someone with a sword for fucking a minute straight. If I want to play a game like that but actually enjoy looking at the world, I'll go play Dark Souls, or I'll go play Elden Ring, or I'll go play any other Souls-like or hack and slash game I want. I play Assassin's Creed for Assassin's Creed. But we can't do that anymore because it has been ruined to the point that they won't go back to it. They tried with Assassin's Creed Mirage, but then they also had to sneak in a little bit of difference with throwing in the superpowers, being able to teleport to people. Again, that's not Assassin's Creed. It's the de-evolution of a company that we once used to love. And Ubisoft have made great games, but in the last 5, 6 years have failed to meet the mark. And the only thing they hold on to, and the only game that stays in relevance due to the fact it still has popularity and still is played by esports, is Rainbow Six Siege, a live service 5v5 shooter. Don't get me wrong, I played the game. I still like the game. I don't play it as much as I used to, but that's the only game that they've managed to hold in their arsenal and be able to keep it there. And we'll be able to keep it there for a long time as long as they don't fuck it up and keep continuing to fuck it up. Then we look at the games that they apparently update. So, for instance, CS, Counter Strike. I am not a big Counter Strike player. I've never been the biggest Counter Strike player. I don't like playing those games. I've always felt garbage at them. Mainly because I have always grew up playing FPS games in the sense of being able to aim down sights and be in full control of your aim. Whilst you can do that in CS, I'm just unusually not ready for the whole concept of tap firing. I'm not ready to be clicking on people's heads with one bullet praying that I get it and then I accidentally spray and I fuck it up and miss. So that's my own fault. But people who had been playing CSGO for a very long time expected CS2 to be something major, something completely different, a whole new upgrade, a whole new bringing to the game. But in reality, it turned out to be nothing but a texture pack, different physics with a smoke, and that's really about it. A texture pack for everything. The texture pack to increase the graphics on your weapons, your skins, the overall map. And that's not very well received from a lot of people. The game's still one of the most top played games because people still love it. But I know a lot of people that when they released CS2 didn't really give a fuck about it. Um, and that's not surprising. Then you have a game like Overwatch 2. Now, I played a lot of Overwatch 1. There is some game videos and game clips on my channel about Overwatch 1 when I used to play in console. These games we all learnt to play, and these were the first live service games that started to fully come out. Everything before it always started to have a campaign, always had a different option, maybe co-op missions, but these games were fully about multiplayer, and that was all they had. Now, this is all we get, is live action games, and a lot of them fail. You get some of them that wildly succeed beyond expectations, such as Marvel Rivals. Then you get ones that don't meet the bar at all. You have live service games like XDefiant, who only survived for 2 seasons. You have games like Concord that didn't even make it out of its pre-season. You have so many of these titles that release that don't work. And they don't work for good reason. And that's because they try and capitalize on something that's already been done too much. No one tries to push the boundaries and go for something new. And it will always be a big problem and a big issue for gaming in general when that's the only thing we focus upon is being able to reproduce what someone already has made before. But then you take a look at some other companies that do it. For instance, last year, probably one of my top games was Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. And that game looked gorgeous in many ways. Detailed with all the armors, the guns, the Tyranid, well, the Terminid, sorry. No, I think it was Tyranids. The Tyranids, and then obviously the Chaos Marines, the Thousand Suns. All these things felt nice, and there were so many hidden details, things that people, if they knew the lore, they knew about before. But if people didn't know about the lore, it got them into the lore of Warhammer, and it let people explore them, and it opens up a whole new alley for people to be able to explore. These games are things that people should be focusing upon. These things can make things a lot better for people, but instead, no. We will always resort to the same battle pass premium, buy this to unlock this gun, buy this skin to unlock the better skin, and then be able to hide in corners better attitude of monetization always comes first. And I will say that about games like Helldivers. When Helldivers released, it was a fun game, but after about 2 to 3 updates later, where 3 of the updates have came with a paid battle pass, after already paying $30 for access to the game, you get to a point where you're either playing the game like it's daily life and you're trying to unlock everything possible, or you just buy it yourself. Which a lot of people probably did just go out there and buy the battle passes. But I don't like it, because it means those who don't want to spend so much money on the one game now need to suffer, and that is not fun. This is just the beginning to a series of me talking about games and the way that they've went wrong. Next video, I will probably talk about more of the inclusion side and why I think so many games ruin their characters due to inclusion. And maybe after that we will talk about some other things. I would also like to make a separate side series where I review and play the games like I used to with my Sergeant Haydogs or Sergeant Shag's thoughts. And we will explore games together. So thank you, and goodbye.